fellow wanderers of Middle-earth, gather close as we explore one of the most peaceful yet profound rituals in all of Tolkien's legendarium. A simple act that reveals the deep wisdom hidden within the smallest moments of daily life. Before we begin this gentle journey together, drop a comment letting me know where in the world you're listening from and what time it is there, and if these contemplative explorations bring you peace. Please hit that like button and subscribe to join our Fellowship of the Wise. Tonight, we follow Gandalf in those precious moments, when the wizard sets aside the weight of saving the world and discovers the extraordinary peace that dwells within the most ordinary of pleasures. The ancient oak beside the river knows Gandalf's footsteps, as well as it knows the seasonal rhythms of rain and sun. Its broad trunk offers the perfect rest for weary shoulders, while its roots create natural armrests worn smooth by countless evenings of faithful use. The wizard approaches this familiar spot as twilight paints the sky in shades of copper and rose, his staff finding its accustomed place against the bark, while his travel-worn hands reach for the leather pouch that holds his most treasured earthly possession. The pipe emerges from deep pockets with the reverence reserved for sacred objects. Carved from briarwood that has darkened to rich mahogany through years of faithful service, its bowl bears the gentle scorch marks that speak of countless perfect smokes. The stem, polished smooth by the touch of lips and fingers, fits his grip like an extension of his own being. This simple tool has accompanied him through councils of the wise and battles against shadow, through quiet moments stolen between great deeds, and long nights spent watching over sleeping companions. Settling against the oak's welcoming embrace, Gandalf begins the ritual that transforms the end of each day from mere cessation of activity into something approaching ceremony. His fingers move with practiced precision as he opens the pouch of Shire tobacco, releasing the rich fragrance that speaks of distant green hills and peaceful gardens tended by hands that have never known the weight of sword or staff. The leaf crumbles between his fingertips with the perfect texture that comes only from proper curing and patient aging. The packing of the bowl becomes meditation in itself. Each pinch of tobacco placed with deliberate care, the density adjusted through gentle pressure that speaks of experience earned through countless repetitions. Too loose and the smoke will burn too quickly, leaving ash where satisfaction should linger. Too tight and the drawer will resist, turning pleasure into frustration. But Gandalf's hands possess the wisdom that comes only through long practice, finding that perfect balance where leaf and air combine in harmony. The striking of the match creates a brief flare that illuminates his weathered features, before settling into the steady glow that will soon coax the tobacco into life. The first tentative puffs require patience, drawing just enough to encourage the ember without overwhelming the delicate balance that must be established between fire and leaf. Too eager and the tobacco will burn harsh and bitter. Too gentle and the flame will die, leaving only the acrid taste of failure. But when the balance is achieved, when the tobacco catches with that perfect glow that speaks of ideal combustion, the first real draw brings with it a satisfaction that transcends the simple pleasure of smoke and taste. This moment represents the successful completion of a ritual that connects the wizard to something larger than himself, a tradition that links him to countless others who have found peace. In the simple act of sharing fire with carefully prepared leaf, The pouch that holds Gandalf's tobacco bears the careful stitching of hobbit hands, its leather worn soft by years of faithful service. Within its protective embrace lies leaf that has travelled far from the green fields of the Shire, each strand carrying the essence of soil and sunshine from a land that knows no shadow. The wizard's fingers explore the contents with the delicate touch of a craftsman selecting the finest materials for his work. This particular blend represents the culmination of generations of hobbit expertise, passed down through families who have devoted their lives to understanding the subtle relationship between plant and earth. The growers of Longbottom know secrets that even the wise cannot fully comprehend. Mysteries of cultivation that transform simple leaf into something approaching art. Each harvest brings its own character, influenced by rainfall and temperature, by the phase of the moon when the cutting was done. Gandalf lifts a small portion to his nose, breathing in the complex fragrance that speaks of careful curing and patient aging. The scent carries hints of honey and earth, of summer evenings and autumn harvests, of all the peaceful moments that went into its creation. This is tobacco that has been treated with the respect due to any living thing, that gives its essence for another's pleasure. The quality reveals itself not just in aroma but in texture, the way the leaf yields to gentle pressure without crumbling to dust. Inferior tobacco breaks apart at the slightest touch, leaving only fragments that burn harsh and quick. But this leaf maintains its integrity while remaining supple, promising a smoke that will unfold slowly and reveal new depths with each careful draw. As he selects the perfect amount for his bowl, Gandalf reflects on the simple miracle of this humble plant. In the grand scheme of Middle-earth's struggles, tobacco might seem insignificant, a small pleasure in a world beset by great dangers. Yet within this modest leaf lies a truth that even the mightiest lords often fail to grasp. The understanding that joy comes not from conquest or accumulation, but from the appreciation of what is already present. The hobbits who grow this tobacco possess a wisdom that the learned councils of Rivendell might envy. They understand that the best things in life require patience, that rushing the process yields only disappointment, that true satisfaction comes from allowing natural rhythms to unfold without interference. Their gift to the world lies not in great deeds or profound speeches, but in their ability to create simple pleasures that bring peace to troubled minds. The leaf that now rests between Gandalf's fingers represents countless hours of labor performed not from obligation but from love. From the initial planting to the final curing, each step has been guided by hands that understand their craft so completely that it has become a form of prayer. The growers work in harmony with seasons and weather, accepting what each year brings, while applying skills honed across generations. In this moment of selection, the wizard participates in a tradition that stretches back through hobbit history, joining an unbroken chain of those who have found solace in this gentle ritual. The tobacco connects him not only to the Shire, but to all the peaceful places where simple folk pursue their quiet crafts with dedication and love. The ember glows with steady warmth as Gandalf draws the first breath of smoke into his lungs. The taste unfolds gradually across his palate, revealing layers of flavor that speak of patient cultivation and careful preparation. Each element of the blend contributes its own note to the symphony, creating a harmony that brings immediate peace to his weary spirit. The initial draw requires delicate attention, neither too forceful nor too gentle. Too much eagerness will flood his mouth with harsh heat that overwhelms the subtle complexities that tobacco has to offer. Too little effort will allow the carefully established ember to fade, requiring another match and disrupting the perfect rhythm he has worked to achieve. As the smoke settles in his chest, Gandalf feels the familiar loosening that comes with this cherished ritual. The tensions that have accumulated throughout the day begin to release their hold on his shoulders and neck. Muscles that have carried the weight of constant vigilance gradually remember what it feels like to simply exist, without purpose beyond the present moment. The oak tree supports his back with the patient strength that only comes from centuries of growth. Its bark, weathered by countless seasons, provides texture against his robes that speaks of endurance and stability. Leaning into this ancient support, the wizard allows himself to truly settle for the first time since dawn broke over the horizon. His legs stretch out before him, boots finding comfortable purchase among the exposed roots that create natural footrests. The positioning feels so familiar, it might have been designed specifically for his frame. This spot has become his own small sanctuary, a place where the great responsibilities of his calling can be set aside without guilt or urgency. The second draw brings even greater satisfaction than the first. Now that the tobacco has warmed properly, its full character begins to emerge. The smoke carries hints of sweetness that linger on his tongue, balanced by earthier notes that ground the experience in something solid and real. Around him, the evening air carries the gentle sounds of a world settling into twilight. Birds exchange their final calls before seeking their roosts. Somewhere in the distance, water moves over stones with the patient persistence that has shaped this landscape for ages beyond counting. These sounds weave together into a symphony that asks nothing of him except his presence. The smoke that curls upward from his pipe creates ephemeral patterns that catch the last rays of sunlight. These delicate spirals exist for mere moments before dissolving into the evening air, beautiful precisely because of their temporary nature. Watching them rise and fade, Gandalf finds a meditation on the nature of all things beautiful in their brief flowering. His breathing slows to match the rhythm of his draws, each inhalation bringing peace deeper into his being. The careful timing required by pipe smoking enforces a pace that modern urgency rarely allows. There is no rushing this pleasure, no way to consume it quickly and move on to the next task. For these precious minutes, the wizard exists entirely in the present moment. Past concerns and future obligations fade into background whispers that cannot compete with the immediate reality of warm smoke, comfortable rest, and the deep satisfaction that comes from a simple pleasure perfectly enjoyed. The day's burden lifts from his spirit like mist dissolving before the morning sun. The smoke rises from Gandalf's pipe in delicate spirals that seem impossibly fragile against the vast expanse of darkening sky. Yet within this simple act lies a paradox that has puzzled the wizard through all his long years in Middle-earth. How can something so small, so seemingly insignificant, provide peace that the mightiest works of power cannot match? He has stood before the gates of great fortresses and spoken words as shattered stone. His staff has kindled fires that held back armies of darkness, and his voice has called down lightning to split the very earth. Yet none of these demonstrations of cosmic authority have brought him the deep contentment, that flows through him now as he draws slowly on his humble pipe. The contrast strikes him as profoundly meaningful in ways that escape easy explanation. A single breath of properly prepared tobacco can accomplish what hours of meditation sometimes cannot. The gentle warmth spreading through his chest carries him toward peace more effectively than all the wisdom of Valinor, the undying lands. Perhaps the secret lies in the absence of intention beyond simple pleasure. When he wields his power against the forces of darkness, every action carries the weight of consequences that stretch across ages. Each word must be measured, each gesture calculated for its effect on the vast patterns of fate that govern Middle-earth's destiny. But this tobacco asks nothing of him except appreciation. There are no strategies to consider, no enemies to outmaneuver, no allies whose needs must be balanced against impossible odds. The pipe cares nothing for his reputation among the wise or his standing in the councils of the great. The leaf burns according to its own nature, following laws as simple as they are immutable. Good tobacco, properly prepared, will yield good smoke regardless of who enjoys it. The humblest hobbit farmer receives the same satisfaction as the most learned wizard, for this pleasure recognizes no hierarchy of worth or wisdom. This equality before simple joy represents something profound about the nature of creation itself. The same divine music that shaped the foundations of the world also breathed life into the modest plants that grow in Shire gardens. There is no separation between the cosmic and the commonplace, no distinction between the sacred and the ordinary. Gandalf reflects on how often the great and powerful forget this fundamental truth. They seek satisfaction in dominion and control, in the accumulation of influence and the exercise of authority over others. Yet the deepest contentment remains forever beyond their grasp, because they pursue it through means that cannot contain it. The wizard draws another careful breath, and watches the smoke dissolve into evening air that carries no memory of its passing. In this dissolution he sees a teaching more valuable than all the lore preserved in Rivendell's libraries. True peace cannot be grasped or possessed, only experienced in moments of perfect presence. The smallness of his pleasure becomes its greatest strength. Unlike the victories won through struggle and sacrifice, this contentment asks nothing of the world beyond what it freely offers. The tobacco gives its essence gladly, the pipe serves its purpose without complaint, and the evening air receives the smoke without resistance. In learning to cherish such modest gifts, the wizard has discovered wisdom that transforms the nature of his greater work. The same gentle attention that makes pipe smoking a meditation can be brought to every aspect of his calling, turning even the most difficult tasks into expressions of love, rather than burdens to be endured. The wizard's breath shapes the rising smoke into rings that hover briefly in the still air before expanding and dissolving into nothingness. Each perfect circle carries with it a moment of gentle pride, the satisfaction that comes from a skill practiced over countless evenings. Creating these ephemeral forms requires just the right combination of breath control and timing, a technique that cannot be rushed or forced. As the rings drift upward, Gandalf finds his mind following their lazy ascent, into realms of memory that the evening's peace has made accessible. The smoke becomes a bridge between present contentment and the vast treasury of experiences that fill his long existence. Each ring carries him to a different time, a different place, a different lesson learned through centuries of wandering. He remembers his first successful smoke ring, achieved after weeks of failed attempts that left him coughing and frustrated. A hobbit child had laughed at his clumsy efforts, then patiently demonstrated the proper technique with the unconscious skill, L, that comes naturally to the Shire folk. The memory brings a smile to his weathered features as he recalls how wisdom can flow from the most unexpected sources. Another carefully shaped breath sends 3 rings floating in perfect succession, each one slightly smaller than the last. They remind him of the 3 ages of Middle-earth that he has witnessed, each era distinct yet connected to those that came before. The smoke rings expand and merge, just as the ages have blended into one continuous story of growth and change. The evening breeze catches one ring and stretches it into an elongated oval that wavers uncertainly before breaking apart. In its dissolution, Gandalf sees an image of all the fragile alliances he has helped to forge over the years. Beauty and purpose can exist even in temporary things, perhaps especially in temporary things, where every moment of harmony becomes precious precisely because it cannot last. He shapes another ring, this one larger and more stable than the rest. It rises steadily through the calm air, maintaining its perfect circle longer than seems possible. This persistence reminds him of the hobbit he first taught to appreciate good tobacco. A simple farmer whose basic decency proved more enduring than the grand gestures of kings and princes. The smoke carries scents that trigger their own cascade of recollections. The honey sweetness speaks of summer evenings spent in gardens where families gathered to share the day's simple pleasures. The earthier notes evoke memories of darker times when a shared pipe provided comfort in the face of overwhelming uncertainty. Each memory flows naturally into the next, connected not by logic but by the deeper associations that link all meaningful experiences. The wizard's mind moves freely through decades and centuries, finding connections between moments that seemed unrelated when they first occurred. Time becomes fluid in this gentle reverie, past and present blending like smoke rings merging in still air. The act of remembering through smoke shapes transforms recollection from mere mental exercise into something approaching meditation. The physical rhythm of breathing and shaping provides an anchor that prevents his thoughts from becoming lost in the vast expanses of his accumulated experience. Each ring marks a moment of successful focus, a perfect marriage between memory and present awareness. As the latest ring disperses into the gathering darkness, Gandalf realizes that this simple pleasure has become his most reliable method for organizing the chaos of memory into something resembling wisdom. The smoke shapes help him understand which experiences deserve preservation and which can be allowed to fade like rings dissolving into evening air. The gentle warmth spreading through Gandalf's chest carries with it a revelation that has taken him centuries to fully understand. In all his long years of opposing the darkness that threatens Middle-earth, he has gradually come to realize that the true purpose of his struggle lies not in the grand victories, but in preserving moments exactly like this one. The ability to sit peacefully beside a familiar tree, drawing contentment from simple tobacco, represents everything that makes existence worth defending. He has witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms, seen heroes celebrated and then forgotten, watched as great deeds fade into legend, and legend dissolves into myth. Understanding this truth has transformed Gandalf's approach to his calling in ways that even his fellow wizards might not fully comprehend. He fights not to achieve glory or to demonstrate his power, but to ensure that hobbit farmers can continue tending their tobacco plants in peace. The cosmic struggle between light and darkness ultimately resolves into the question of whether simple folk will be allowed to pursue their quiet crafts without fear. Yet the pleasure of a well-smoked pipe remains as immediate and satisfying as it was the first time he experienced it. This consistency reveals something profound about the nature of what truly matters in the world. The forces of evil understand power and fear, conquest and domination, but they remain forever blind to the quiet joys that give life its actual meaning. Sauron can forge rings of terrible might and command armies that darken the sky. Yet he cannot create even the simplest pleasure that Gandalf now enjoys. The Dark Lord's power stems from his ability to corrupt and destroy, never to generate anything genuinely good. This limitation exposes the fundamental weakness that will ultimately ensure evil's defeat. Those who serve darkness pursue goals that can never satisfy because they mistake means for ends. They seek power as though it were an end in itself, not understanding that power only has value when used to protect and preserve what is genuinely precious. The tobacco burning slowly in Gandalf's pipe represents the fruit of countless small acts of love and care. From the hobbit who planted the seeds to the farmer who tended the growing plants. From the harvester who chose the perfect moment for cutting to the curer who guided the drying process. Each step required patience and attention that no amount of force could compel. This gentle conspiracy of care produces something that all the armies of Mordor cannot replicate. Evil can steal and corrupt, dominate and destroy, but it cannot create the conditions that allow simple pleasures to flourish. The darkness feeds on fear and hatred, emotions that poison the very soil where contentment might otherwise grow. The wisdom hidden within his evening smoke extends beyond the immediate pleasure it provides. Each peaceful draw represents a small victory over the forces that would reduce all existence to struggle and suffering. By taking time to appreciate what is good and beautiful in the world, he performs an act of resistance more meaningful than any dramatic gesture of defiance. The pipe in his hands connects him to a vast network of gentle souls who understand. The civilization's highest achievement lies not in monuments or conquests, but in the creation of conditions where ordinary people can find extraordinary satisfaction in simple things. This network operates quietly, almost invisibly, yet it provides the foundation upon which all the more obvious forms of resistance depend. As another perfect smoke ring rises into the darkening air, Gandalf recognizes that he holds in his hands a treasure more valuable than any ring of power. The ability to transform leaf and fire into peace represents the kind of magic that truly matters. The everyday miracle that makes all his greater works worthwhile. The smoke curling upward from Gandalf's pipe carries his thoughts toward those who have taught him the most about finding joy in life's simpler offerings. Chief among these teachers stands Bilbo Baggins, whose round door first opened to reveal a world where second breakfast holds equal importance with grand adventures. The old hobbit's ability to find wonder in both dragon's gold and perfectly buttered toast showed the wizard that true wealth cannot be measured in conventional terms. Even now, decades after their first meeting, Gandalf marvels at how naturally the hobbits embrace contentment. They require no philosophical training to appreciate a well-prepared meal or a comfortable chair by the fire. Their wisdom flows not from books or lengthy contemplation, but from an instinctive understanding that happiness exists primarily in the present moment. He thinks of Frodo's quiet courage, demonstrated not through dramatic gestures, but through countless small acts of kindness performed without expectation of recognition. The young hobbit possessed a rare ability to find beauty, even in the darkest circumstances, drawing strength from memories of the Shire's green hills when surrounded by desolation and despair. This inner light proved more powerful than any weapon against the shadow. Sam Gamgee occupies a particularly warm corner of the wizard's thoughts this evening. The gardener's simple faith in the goodness of growing things provided guidance that all the counsels of the wise could not match. Sam understood that tending a garden requires the same patient attention that friendship demands, the same willingness to invest effort without demanding immediate returns. The bonds forged with these mortal friends have changed Gandalf in ways that surprise him still. Before coming to Middle-earth, he knew fellowship primarily as shared purpose among immortal beings working toward common goals. The hobbits taught him that friendship could exist for its own sake, requiring no grand mission to justify its existence. Their influence extends far beyond personal affection, into the very core of how he approaches his calling. When faced with difficult decisions, the wizard often finds himself asking not what the wise would counsel or what duty demands, but what would bring peace to a hobbit kitchen. This seemingly simple test frequently provides clearer guidance than all the learned debates of Rivendell. The mortality that initially seemed like limitation has revealed itself as a gift that immortal beings can barely comprehend. Knowing that their time together will eventually end gives each shared moment a poignancy that eternal fellowship cannot match. Every pipe smoked in companionship, every tale told by firelight, gains precious weight from the knowledge that such pleasures cannot be taken for granted. Gandalf draws another thoughtful breath and reflects on how often his mortal friends have chosen joy over fear when faced with impossible circumstances. Their example has taught him that courage often manifests not as dramatic heroism, but as the quiet decision to continue appreciating simple pleasures, even when the world seems bent on destroying them. The wizard's love for these friends has become inseparable from his love for the peaceful world they represent. Protecting Middle-earth means ensuring that hobbit holes continue to welcome unexpected visitors, that gardens flourish under careful tending, that evening pipes can be enjoyed without fear of what darkness might be approaching. As the ember in his pipe glows steadily in the gathering dusk, Gandalf feels the presence of these cherished companions across the miles that separate them. Distance cannot diminish bonds forged through shared appreciation of life's gentler gifts, connections that prove more enduring than any alliance based merely on common cause. The briarwood pipe resting between Gandalf's fingers has traveled more miles than most mortals will see in their entire lifetimes. Through summer heat and winter cold, across mountains and through valleys, this simple carved object has remained his most constant companion. While allies have come and gone, while kingdoms have risen and fallen, the pipe has endured with the quiet faithfulness that only inanimate objects seem capable of achieving. Its surface bears the accumulated patina of countless smokes, each one adding another thin layer to the rich darkness that now characterizes its finish. The bowl shows small dents and scratches that mark specific moments in their shared history. A tiny chip near the rim recalls the evening it fell from his hand during the earthquake that shook Moria's foundations. The stem carries the smooth polish that comes only from years of handling, worn to perfect comfort by the repeated touch of lips and teeth. No craftsman could replicate this particular curve or achieve this exact degree of smoothness through deliberate effort. The pipe has shaped itself to its owner's preferences through the slow alchemy of constant use. Unlike the grand staff that marks his status among the wise, the pipe makes no claims to importance or power. It serves a single purpose with humble efficiency, asking nothing beyond occasional cleaning and the steady supply of good tobacco. This simplicity has become increasingly precious to the wizard, as his responsibilities have grown more complex over the centuries. In councils where every word carries the weight of nations, the pipe provides an anchor to simpler truths. The steady rhythm of drawing and releasing smoke creates a natural pause between thoughts, preventing hasty speech that might lead to regrettable consequences. More than once, the time required to properly light his pipe has allowed wisdom to emerge from what initially seemed like impossible situations. The pipe has witnessed conversations that shaped the fate of Middle-earth, yet it treats these historic moments with the same equanimity it brings to solitary evening smokes. Kings and commoners receive equal treatment from this democratic companion, which burns tobacco with identical satisfaction regardless of who provides it or under what circumstances it is enjoyed. During the darkest periods of his long mission, when doubt threatened to overwhelm even his ancient resolve, the familiar ritual of preparing and lighting his pipe provided continuity that sustained his spirit. The simple sequence of actions remained unchanged, even when everything else seemed uncertain. Pack the bowl, strike the match, draw carefully until the ember glows steady and true. The pipe remembers what he sometimes forgets, that peace can be found even in the midst of chaos. Its presence in his pocket serves as a constant reminder that some pleasures transcend circumstance, that contentment depends more on inner state than external conditions. A good smoke tastes equally satisfying whether enjoyed in Rivendell's gardens or beside a campfire in the wild. Through all their journeys together, the pipe has never failed to fulfill its modest promise. It has drawn smoothly when properly packed, burned evenly when given quality tobacco, and provided the gentle pleasure that makes even the most difficult days bearable. This reliability has earned a trust that few companions, mortal or immortal, have ever achieved. As Gandalf draws another contemplative breath, he acknowledges the debt he owes to this unpretentious friend. In a world where so much demands constant vigilance and careful consideration, the pipe offers the rare gift of something that simply works, requiring nothing beyond basic care, and returning far more satisfaction than its humble nature would suggest possible. The tobacco in Gandalf's bowl burns lower with each draw, the ember growing smaller as it consumes the last of the carefully packed leaf. This gradual diminishment serves as a gentle reminder that even the most perfect moments must eventually yield to the demands of duty and responsibility. Yet rather than bringing anxiety about what lies ahead, the approaching end of his smoke brings a sense of peaceful preparation. Tomorrow will likely bring new challenges that require the full attention of his wisdom and power. Messages may arrive calling him to distant lands where his counsel is needed, or circumstances may demand that he once again take up the burden of direct action against the forces of darkness. The road stretches endlessly before him, as it has for centuries, offering no promise of final rest. But tonight's ritual has reminded him of why such burdens are worth bearing. Every peaceful pipe enjoyed beside this faithful oak represents countless others that would be impossible if evil were allowed to triumph. The farmer who grew this tobacco, the craftsman who carved this pipe, the simple folk who find joy in life's gentle pleasures, all depend on those willing to stand guard against the darkness. The strength that flows through him now comes not from magical power or accumulated wisdom, but from the deep contentment that simple pleasures provide. This feeling will sustain him through whatever trials await, serving as an anchor that connects him to what he fights to preserve. No amount of suffering can diminish the memory of perfect smoke rising into starlit air. He thinks of the letters that may be waiting for him at his next destination, urgent requests for aid from communities threatened by forces beyond their understanding. Each plea will demand careful consideration and measured response, requiring him to balance competing needs against limited resources. The weight of so many depending on his judgment never grows lighter with experience. Yet the pipe has taught him patience that transforms burden into privilege. The same careful attention that creates perfect smoke rings can be applied to the most complex problems, bringing clarity where haste would only create confusion. The evening's peace becomes a reservoir of calm that he can draw upon when emotions run high and stakes grow desperate. The ember glows one final time as Gandalf takes his last draw from the nearly exhausted bowl. The smoke carries the concentrated essence of all that has come before, a final gift from Leaf that has given its all in service of his contentment. This last taste seems somehow more precious than the rest, flavored with the poignancy of completion, as he watches the final wisps rise and disappear into the darkness. The wizard feels ready to face whatever tomorrow may bring. The challenges ahead will test his resolve and demand sacrifices that may seem impossible to bear. But he carries within him now the memory of this perfect evening, proof that beauty and peace remain possible even in a world shadowed by ancient evils. The pipe grows cool in his hands as the last ember fades to ash. This cooling marks the transition from present pleasure to future purpose, from personal restoration to renewed service. Yet the boundary between rest and work has been softened by the evening's meditation, making tomorrow's duties feel less like obligations and more like opportunities to serve what he loves. Standing slowly from his comfortable position against the oak, Gandalf feels the strength that flows from genuine rest, rather than mere cessation of activity. His body has been restored by stillness, his mind clarified by simplicity, his spirit renewed by the kind of joy that asks nothing beyond appreciation. The final grains of tobacco surrender their essence to the gentle glow that has sustained Gandalf's evening meditation. Each remaining ember burns with the concentrated warmth of completion, offering up the last of its light before yielding to the inevitable transformation into ash. The pipe grows noticeably lighter in his hands as the fuel that has provided so much pleasure completes its willing sacrifice. With practiced movements born of countless repetitions, the wizard begins the ritual that will preserve his faithful companion for tomorrow's smoke. He taps the bowl gently against the oak's root, watching as the spent ash falls away to nourish the earth that supports this ancient tree. The grey powder will become part of the soil that feeds new growth, continuing the cycle that connects all living things. The pipe stem draws cool air now instead of warm smoke, signaling that the evening's ceremony has reached its natural conclusion. Gandalf runs his finger around the bowl's interior, ensuring that no hidden embers remain to mar the wood or create unwanted heat. This final inspection represents more than mere maintenance, serving as a moment of gratitude for the service the pipe has provided. He breathes deeply of the night air, tasting the lingering sweetness that clings to his palate like a benediction. The flavor will fade with time, but the peace it has brought will endure through whatever challenges await with dawn's arrival. This afterglow of contentment settles into his bones, becoming part of the strength he carries forward into each new day. The pipe disappears into the deep pocket of his robes, with the quiet satisfaction of a tool perfectly used for its intended purpose. Its weight against his side provides a comforting reminder that simple pleasures remain available even in the midst of cosmic struggles. Tomorrow's smoke already waits in potential, requiring only the proper moment and peaceful setting to manifest. The oak tree that has supported this evening's meditation stands ready to offer the same service again, its patient presence a testament to the enduring nature of the best friendships. Gandalf presses his palm against its bark in silent thanks, feeling the slow pulse of life that has sustained this giant through centuries of seasons. Their partnership requires no words, only mutual recognition of shared purpose. Standing in the gathering darkness, the wizard takes one final look at the spot where so much peace has been discovered and rediscovered. The memory of this evening will join countless others in the treasury of moments that make existence meaningful despite its inevitable sorrows. Each perfect smoke becomes part of an eternal present that no amount of time can diminish. The stars emerging overhead shine with the same light that witnessed his first arrival in Middle-earth, unchanged by all the struggles and victories that have filled the intervening years. Their distant fire reminds him that some things endure beyond the reach of corruption, offering hope that transcends any individual fate or temporary defeat. With the gentle satisfaction that comes only from pleasure fully appreciated and properly concluded, Gandalf turns toward whatever rest the night may bring. His pipe sleeps peacefully in its familiar pocket, ready to serve again when duty allows another pause for simple joy. The evening's contentment flows through his dreams, ensuring that even sleep becomes a form of worship offered to the beauty that makes all struggles worthwhile. Let this meditation on the wizard's perfect smoke carry you gently into your own peaceful rest, where the simple pleasures of existence await rediscovery with each new dawn.